Hello and welcome. This is a very quick 2-minute tutorial on how to use the graphing calculator, how to plot your points and your equation and see if they match. First, go to graphing calculator here in blue in order to be directed to the actual calculator. Once the calculator pops up, it'll pop up under the equations tab. And so the 1, the 2, and etc., if I were to scroll down, are all places where you can put in equations. So I could put an equation here, but you're going to start with plot points. Notice up here are all your tabs. So you would go to plot points, and you would put in points here under the rectangular points. We aren't doing polar points, so make sure you put them here under the rectangular points. We have an X column, and then we have a Y column, which has the function notation. So you would put in year 0, and you would put in the price of the car. Maybe it was $800. Then you would put in year 1, and you would put in the next value. We'll say it was $761 is what I calculated. And then under year 2, we'll say that the next value, and I'm going to just make these numbers up, is $650, $3, $510, and year 4, we'll say we're down to $400, and then in year 5, maybe we're down to $338. But you would plot your numbers that you calculated in this plot points area. Once you've plotted your points, go to the graph tab to see how your points look. Notice I don't see my points, and that's because my window isn't allowing me to see my points. Think about here in year 0. The value of my car was $800. This only goes up to 7. So I would need to change my y-axis, my y-max here, to say maybe 810, so that I could see a little bit above the initial start. So now that I've done that, you can see all my points. Now I may want to adjust this a little bit more because I don't need to see negative years here. So for my x min, I could change the -10 to 0. Once I do that, you can see that I get a clearer picture of just what I need to focus on. Now, the next step will be for you to input the equation that you come up with. So that's where you go to the Equations tab. And then I would put in an equation just like you normally would write it out. So y equals, I know the initial cost was $800, use the asterisk for times, and then I need my depreciation rate. If it depreciates at 15% a year, that means there's 85% remaining each year. And then use the up caret to raise to the power of x. Once I have in my equation, I can go back to my graph and see how my equation looks compared to my dots. And you can see that I actually did a pretty good guess here. However, you should see that each of these dots should fit exactly on this curve if you've calculated your equations correctly. And that concludes our tutorial on how to use this graphing calculator. So remember, plot your points under this tab, write your equation under this tab, and then graph and see if your line matches your points. Remember to go ahead and take a screenshot of this, paste it into your Word document so that I can see your work.